To the fourth of 5 podcasts talking about our guided pathways work. Back on the couch, we have Amanda Nipp, our Vice President for Student Services, who's going to talk about our non-degree seeking students. So Amanda, we talked about degree seeking students in an earlier podcast, as well as our early college students. Tell us about the priority related to non-degree seeking students. Who are these students and how can we help them?
So the non-degree seeking students that we're focusing on in this team are non-degree seeking that excludes early college, like you talked about, and then our job training and safety students, which are utility line, our off-campus utility line training. So when you take out those two groups of non-degree seeking students, we've got about 700 or 800 unique individuals throughout an academic year that come to us as non-degree seeking, which means they're not getting financial aid. They're not applying to us to earn a credential or a degree. They're just coming to potentially take a class. So that's the group of students that we're examining through this. And we're trying to really, right now, figure out how do we help those students? How do we onboard them? How do we make sure that they're on a track to something? And maybe that something is a skill or taking a class, but is there something beyond that that we can have a conversation with them about?
So why is it important to focus on these students?
So currently, our non-degree seeking, this population of non-degree seeking students, they apply for admission with us. They get an email from us that says you're accepted. You can go ahead and here's your steps to sign up for a class. And that's the end of it. So they never have access to an advisor. They don't have anyone to really onboard them to the college and to our processes. Not all non-degree seeking students may need that, but we feel that it's important from a guided pathways perspective. Every student should have a similar experience onboarding to the college and have access to an advisor so that they can have a conversation. It may be a really brief conversation. I know what I'm going to do. I want to take this class to get this skill, or take these 2 classes to get this skill. Or it might be, oh, I've just been randomly taking classes. I guess I never thought about that I could complete a degree. And that's where an advisor could come in handy. So we want to make sure every student has a conversation with someone about what is that end goal, which may just be a class, but maybe it's more. And we can potentially direct them to what that options would be to get to where they want to go.
And so how are we going to keep track of that information on these students? They aren't with us every day like many of our students on the Norfolk campus are. What are the next steps with this?
So right now, the team of folks that are looking at this are reviewing the data. And so we're really looking at the demographics. Who are these students? What classes are they taking? We're seeing some trends in that data. We're seeing some trends in the classes that they're taking. So there's some similar course-taking behavior that will allow us to potentially divide these students out and work with them in different ways. So we're looking at those trends to help us develop a solution. Again, some non-degree seeking students they are just taking a class and then they're going to move on, but others take a few classes with us. So figuring out what is it that each of these students might need, it is going to be fairly one-to-one, one-off. Yeah. We're going to have multiple conversations with these students, or students with conversations with multiple students. Yeah. But I think they're going to be brief conversations, and then we get them on a track. How we keep track of it, we'll have to utilize our systems through Advise and Recruit to try to track this information and those conversations with students.
I think we got to step back. What is Advise and Recruit?
You're going to learn more in the next podcast.
Our next podcast. Oh, fantastic.
Yes,
all right,
yes.
I won't give too much of a preview, but in general, it's a system that helps us keep notes about students and their interests and their goals.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So what are the next steps with this work? Where are we in that process of studying these students?
So our
experience of these students. We're not studying the students. We're studying their experience.
and who they are. And so we have worked with our institutional research and analytics. They've created dashboards and given us a lot of data. So we're still kind of digging through that data, looking at the trends, but we're at the place where we're going to start to propose some solutions. What might it look like if we attempt to have a conversation with every one of these students? Who would that be? What would that entail? When is the right time for a conversation with these students about their end goal? And so we're working on really tackling the proposal. What is the recommendation? And I think it will be one of those things where we try something and then we see how that works. We talk with students and probably adapt as we go.
What will success look like if we're able to assist these students?
Success for looking at the non-degree seeking students would be that we're able to have a conversation with every student and that we're able to track what is their goal. And we know what their goal is, and we have a conversation with them about, again, it's similar to what is that path and making sure they're on a path to get to that end goal.
All right, fantastic. We were just speaking with Amanda Nipp about the work we're doing to understand the experience and improve the experience for non-degree seeking students. Thanks for joining us in this 4th of 5 podcasts.